Hello pandas of the internet, my name is Panda-chan. I am a full-time artist-ish, a part-time cosplayer, and as of recently a forever DM. Now, I haven't been posting on this channel for quite a while, and I think it's about time I start posting again. But I have a bit of a change to my content, so in the spirit of my favorite hobby, D&D, let's read some D&D horror stories. This story was posted by Southern Pirate 7052. Player makes a child character in adventure game, gets upset when said game has an adventure. Let's get into it. Sorry if this isn't a horror story in its typical sense, but it makes me unbelievably frustrated and I don't know where else to post this. Also, throwaway account because I am not looking for anyone in my party to see this post. So, a few months ago, 4 or 5 I think, I was invited to play in a D&D campaign with some mutual friends. We're a party of 5. I knew 2 people beforehand, so the other 2 as well as the DM are strangers to me. There are only 2 players that are important to the story, Fighter, the problem herself, and Paladin, who endorses all the Fighter's annoying habits. I was friends with Paladin, but Fighter was new to me. We all make our characters and talk about them a bit before the campaign starts, and everyone has an adult who vibes with the jive pretty well. Until Fighter shows up. Fighter's character is a literal child, not an older teenager who could reasonably be an adventurer or a young child who's a warlock or a sorcerer, but an 8-year-old tabaxi girl who we're apparently supposed to believe is a capable fighter. Okay. We get into playing a couple of sessions and the party's vibe kinda deflates a bit as some of the things you might expect from D&D, tasteless dick jokes and getting shit-faced in a tavern, namely, became a no-no for Fighter. Despite the fact that she is an adult, the fact that her character is a child is very important, and she will interject to remind you that her character is just a small, innocent kitten if you ever make a slight edgy joke. Yeah. Perhaps the creepiest thing about Fighter's character is that since she is a tabaxi, she genuinely expects people to treat her like an animal in character. She asks people to pet her and give her head pats as if she is genuinely a cat. I'm a grown man. My character is a grown man. Neither of us want to pet an 8-year-old girl. Fighter gets mad at me for this. This is a personal slight against Fighter herself. Character issues notwithstanding, Fighter is new to D&D. This isn't an issue at all. Everyone starts somewhere. The issue is that Fighter does not care to learn. Paladin, who I mentioned earlier, does all the work for Fighter. Paladin made her character sheet. Paladin rolls dice for her. Paladin tells her what to do in combat. Paladin holds her hand throughout the whole process for God knows what reason, which means she never actually learns. We've been playing this campaign for months now, and Fighter just recently nearly had an aneurysm at the table because she was asked to make an ability check and did not know how to do this. This is the most basic skill possible in D&D. Fighter also doesn't seem to understand that combat and danger is an important part of D&D. We accidentally got into a fight with some goblins, and after a few lucky rolls on the DM's side and some unlucky rolls from me, my character went down and started making death saving throws, as I laughed about how it would be funny if he was killed by goblins. Fighter, whose character had taken no damage up to this point, began freaking out about the possibility of her character dying, even though the goblins were mostly dead. She started talking over anyone else, saying that she would literally quit the campaign if her character died, and that tis very unfair to be putting a child in danger like this. Fighter is the one who made an elementary schooler for a game about dungeon crawling, but that's not important. Maybe I'm just noticing things more than others because it's very clear that Fighter dislikes me on a personal level. But God, it's annoying me so much, and I've been hoping before every session that she can't make it. I'm not about to quit the game or start a confrontation over it, but I really just needed to vent. Edit. So I've seen a lot of people saying that it's a kink thing, but I doubt it. Fighter is very, very childish, as demonstrated by this post, and the fact that she's done things like refuse to acknowledge me because I said I don't like her favorite character from a TV show, I think she genuinely just doesn't know how to act like an adult, and playing a very young child who acts like a child is her excuse to act childish without in-game consequences. Well, OP, after reading this, I would like to say that the kink community and the D&D community have a surprisingly large overlap, so it might as well, could be a kink thing. But that being said, I would also like to acknowledge that playing a child in D&D can genuinely work. It could be a fun character trait, and I personally have played an 8-year-old monk before, but it goes without saying you shouldn't be taking away the fun from anyone else while doing so. So hopefully this fighter will either learn the error of her ways or drop out of the game, which she did threaten to do at some point, so perhaps your lucky day is coming soon, huh? Hello, welcome to the end card. The original story, along with the sound credits, will be in the description, along with social media that you can follow me on. Like, share, maybe follow if you want to, and leave a comment if you have any other stories that you would like me to tell.